in this morning, amongst with us the great celebrities and the peer gurus and everybody at PRSI. I am Rajiv, today's host, and along with me is a wonderful dynamic student of PR, Oindrila. Oindrila, this is all yours.
Thank you so much. Welcome you all in this auspicious day, National PR Day 2013, presented by PRSI.
This is an occasion which would be celebrated today with real pomp and grandeur. And to begin with, I would like to quote from the words of a celebrated singer, John Lennon, who once said, "You may call me a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope one day will join us and the world will be as one." Well, the world has changed beyond comprehension. Digital media has become a most potent and powerful tool in the form of communication. And today, at the beginning, we have amongst us the Vice President and the Chief of Corporate Communication of the ITC Group, one of India's foremost private sector companies, and he is himself a doyen in his own right. He has awarded several international awards. Apart from being a consistent supporter of different causes, Mr. Najib Arif is present amongst us, and today we would like to hear from him, and that would indeed be an engaging, exciting concept. I request Oindrila to call up Mr. Najib Arif.
So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Najib Arif on stage. Welcome, sir.
Well, we thought when we came over here, it was a proud privilege to get an opportunity to come and host this show, feeling a bit nervous, no doubt about that, but I am absolutely delighted, and I hope the formality, the formal concept will gradually give way to tremendous passion and excitement. Public Relations Society, which is a premier organization of this format, and we are here. We have gathered with a host of dynamic, budding people who have come into PRSI. We welcome everybody here, and also today amongst us there is another legend in her own right. Well, ma'am, it was a real privilege to have you here, and I request Oindrila to introduce ma'am Rita Bhimani. I've been admiring her from so many years back. She is in herself a doyen in the field of public relations. Oindrila.
She is one of the veterans of public relations in our midst, and she is one of the professionals who has stayed consistent to our PR profession for more than 40 years. She has written books on PR, giving innumerable talks and workshops, has been a board member of the International PR Association, and is now an entrepreneur who runs her own PR consultancy. She is an inspiration to our younger colleagues and entrants in PR. So ma'am, please come on the stage. Please put your hands together for one and only, the most special someone, Mrs. Rita Bhimani.
Well, thank you, Oindrila. As ma'am comes in, this is what an occasion. This is an occasion where I feel that this would be a watershed event, a landmark. Even while coming across, one discussion was with a towering gentleman with a big height. I mean, a person who is as towering as his own height, and he is one of the chief brains of this wonderful organization, admired by lot, and he is none other than Mr. Shobhajit Mahapatro, and we request him to come up here on the dais. Oindrila, why don't you call up, ask Shobhajit to come on stage?
I'm here.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is the main part and parcel of PRSI. Please put your hands together for Mr. Shobhajit Mahapatro, and he is famous for Shomola.
Thank you, Rajiv and Vendrila. They are the newcomers in PRSI. They are just getting, they are members here, so I thought why we should not exercise their talents here. So, very warm good morning to all of you on this auspicious National Peer Day, and just in front of us, Devobrata Mukherjee, our past chairman, Kolkata chapter, from where we took the mantle and we are going ahead. So, with us, Mr. Nadeeb Arif, Ms. Rita Bhimani, and there is only one story. We are very sorry that today we are not having our chairman with us because he suddenly developed one problem in eye, retina detachment, and that is why he could not come here. We all wish that he should recover very fast from this problem. And I will not take much time. Today is the day where we are all eager to listen to Mr. Nadeeb Arif, and we thought why should not request Rita B to introduce the theme, and then after that so many colorful things will come in our life today. The peer toppers are here. There will be felicitation for the corporate members. There will be felicitation for the life members, associate members and others. So thank you very much. Please listen to Mr. Nadeeb Arif after they introduce the theme here. Thank you.
With this, I'd like to request Rita ma'am to please hand over the memento certificate and PRSA badge to Mr. Nadeeb Arif on National PR Day.
What an occasion is this? I just remember one quotation. It says, Purna Madam, Purna Midan, Purnat, Purna Mudachate, Purnashva, Purna Madaya, Purna Mega Vashishyate. What an occasion! Put your hands together on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. This is our show, our program, and we are all proud members of Public Relations Society of India.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to request our very own Rajita to please come here and speak a bit about our Engage 2013.
Ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries on the dais, and these wonderful people over here, I believe we are already engaged. If anybody has a doubt, then they can raise their hands. We are engaged indeed. It all began in 2012, last year. What a show it was, where all the doins of the industry came together. Corporate communication was at its brilliant best. And we personally believe that here, the wonderful team guided by the doins and also the fresh blood were coming, like Goendrila for example. Inspiration like Inadi is there. GM Corporate Communication of Infinity Group, and there is all the other people. Shomojit Mahapatra, we'd love to call him Shomoda. This is an occasion to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, I won't be speaking much about Engage because there will be presentations by two dynamic people later on in this show, and people won't like to hear from me, rather from Mr. Nadeeb Arif sir and Madam Rita Bhimani is over here. So two words to sum up. We are doing something over here which the entire world, probably India, will be following. And with an astounding, path-breaking success of 2012 Engage, it can put our hands on our heart and we can really aspire and think 2013 would be a stunning success. If that is true, put your hands together on the double, please. Put your hands together. Let us pray that would be a wonderful, wonderful occasion. Thank you so much. Goendrila, it's all yours.
Thank you so much once again. Now with this, I'd like to call upon DICE Secretary Mr. Somojit Mahapatra, Joint Secretary Subhash Mohanta, and Enavo's Content Integrator Think Book will be requested to join during handover. I'd like to request PRSI Think Book to Ms. Rita Bhimani, Mr. Nadeeb Arif, and Mr. Chittu Ghosh, Director Talking Tree. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
One thing for sure, I can assure you in a lighter note, I take the opportunity before the doins. People who want to stay younger for a long period of time, there is a one medication. Whenever you get an opportunity, put your hands together. Put your hands together, please, ladies and gentlemen. What an occasion is this? This is Public Relations Society of India, and this is indeed a photo session moment. with Najib Arif sir, there is Rita Vimani ma'am, and all these wonderful people over here on stage. This is the way to set the ball rolling. I hope the photo session is over. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And okay, I think the program has been on the right note, on the right time, and we will. So already the thing has been released. Now we'll go to the next part of the show, and all about this National Peer Day. Shomoda has already highlighted why is this National Peer Day so important. Ladies and gentlemen, public relations has become the cornerstone, the most important facet of development today. The corporate communications has not been a one-sided affair now. With the advancement of technology and with the advancement of the social media coming in, it is no more the monopoly of single media houses guiding and distracting or whatever might be manipulating the psyche of the millions. Everyone with a ThinkPad or whatever might be has a voice of his own. And therefore, here we are on this National Peer Day, a proud witness here in Kolkata, talking about Engage 2013, and amongst us we have the doyens, we would be listening from them. So I now, without wasting much time, hand over the microphone to Mohendrila, who would proudly introduce Rita Vimani.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time we will actually hear a few golden words on this auspicious occasion of National PR Day. Ma'am, a brilliant speaker, of course. You're requested. Mic is all yours, ma'am. We will be hearing from you right now. Everybody is waiting just for you. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a brilliant person in here, Mrs. Rita Vimani.
Thank you so much, Rajiv and Vedant. Very, very professional manner in which you've introduced the whole morning and the whole theme. I congratulate you for giving PRSI this new dimension and the way you have done things. Of course, all credit due to Shomajit Mahapatra and Noreen, who is not here with us today. But, you know, they have single-handedly taken PRSI to another dimension. I have to congratulate them for that. I've been asked to say a few words before Mr. Najib Arif comes on, because we really would like to listen to what he has to tell us and guide us as to how he looks at PR in the digital age. So I won't take very much of your time, maybe a couple of minutes. Just to say that I feel that National Public Relations Day is a day when we should go in for a lot of introspection. But it is also a looking ahead at how we can move the profession to get attuned to changing trends. And of course, as we will see today, to get on to a new platform with the digital age. Why do I say introspection? Because first we have to look within ourselves. We have to take stock. We have to strengthen our basics of communication. We have to sharpen our own skill sets before we jump onto the digital trends that are increasingly giving us the opportunity to reach out and connect in a rapid and resonant manner that was never possible with the traditional approaches that all of us oldies were used to in the profession. But however, this does not mean that we have to be carried away by technological advances, because just going viral on the net, and we keep hearing this term quite a bit, may not quite be the answer to the larger number of issues that are facing corporations today. So we must master the techniques and the technologies that are on offer from digital communication, particularly those which give us a chance to get better feedback, because we need this is another part of the profession that we must look into. When I talk of introspection, I also would like to talk about the fact that it must not just be communication that goes out one way, but we must also introspect to see what we have done right, and that is what I'm talking about, feedback. And we must also get a chance for course correction. What we have to be careful about is that the building of networks should be somewhat more complex. It is a strategized process. It is a continuous process, and it needs maintenance and it needs nurturing. There's another word of caution for us as we start swimming in these new waters of digital technology, and this is a very, very recent development. The latest development, in fact, is that the Indian government is planning a digital central monitoring system starting this month. All telecommunications and internet communications in India will be analyzed by the government and its agencies. And what does this mean for us? It means that everything we say or text over the phone, or write, or post, or browse over the internet will be centrally monitored by Indian authorities. This is pointing to nothing other than a totalitarian type of surveillance, which will be incorporated in none other than the Central Monitoring System, the CMS. This is something I think we have to be very careful about. We've got to track this particular trend, and they tell us in a digitized world, threats to security have been digitized. Terrorism is considered to be a product of globalization, and the internet appears to be a tool used by terrorists. And that is their argument. Hence, governments all around the world are convinced that surveillance is probably one of the most effective methods in detecting and prosecuting terrorists. Be that as it may, I think we in corporate communication have to look at some kind of a macro solution and start a dialogue with such agencies to ensure that these measures are not taken to the extreme that they're supposed to. So with those few words, I would now like to hand over the podium and the rest of this morning to Mr. Nazib Arif.
Ma'am, that was inspiration infinite. Listening from you was an inspiration for all the young people here, and for me personally, and Vendela would admit, we are absolutely mesmerized at the way you have analyzed the dangers lurking this digitization of the whole concept. But since ma'am is here, before we would listen to our doyen today, Nazib Arif sir, there is one small function, or the most important function, which has to be done. We are here today because another grandest event is there around the corner, that is Engage 2013. So today we are releasing the folder, and we would also like to have a photo session here. So we would like to call up, I'll request Oindrila to conduct this release of Engage 2013 folder. And once again, thanking you, ma'am. Put your hands together the double for this wonderful speech by ma'am Vivani, please. Thank you so much.
So here we first call upon guys, Mr. Shomajit Mahabhadra for the release of Engage 2013, and with him I'd like to request Secretary, Chairman and Avigyan Nandi and Mr. Akhil Bandhupal to please join in here.
Yeah, please.
Please sir. Please put your hands together for Avigyan Nandi and Akhil Bandhupal. So this is the extreme beautiful moment, the most important thing, the release of Engage 2013. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a proud moment, the release of Engage 2013. Please put your hands together.
So this is the occasion we're waiting for. Andrew has summed up, and we are on our road to Engage 2013. It has been an engaging morning session, bang on time, and we are here. Thank you so much. What an occasion. Thank you so much, everybody on stage. And obviously, now we would like, as Madam Bhimani had said, that the stage would belong to another doyen, a peer doyen. This gentleman, Mr. Arif sir, this is an occasion, so it is all yours. Put your hands together on the double and let us congratulate sir for coming over here. Thank you so much.
Since I hear the doyen being said too many times, I'm not a doyen. I can only lay claim to be a practitioner in this field of which you are all far more accomplished than I perhaps will be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to be with you today. Somajit, for a long time, has been asking that I should come and meet everyone. And today I'm more proud because I got my badge today, and I am a PRSI member legitimately. So to some extent I can claim to be an insider here. Before I get on to what I think all of you already know, I just wanted to mention that perhaps when I look across the hall and see all of you, there are very few professions who are as accomplished, and also in terms of what you need to handle in terms of looking at your company's vision, taking it forward, and also sustaining crisis communications. And while PR professionals are a friend in need for everyone, I find that most of them are sometimes unsung heroes as well. So I would think that today, on the National PR Day, and certainly when we have so many stalwarts sitting here and I can see in front of me, let us pay tribute to all of them and really put your hands together for the entire PR fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, for what they're doing. I have two colleagues of mine here, Subhas, can I see her? He's there, and Nandini, our general managers and our who heads our media and corporate affairs in my department. I've never heard them say no. I've never heard them saying something is impossible, and I always see them coming up with something. So today let me take the opportunity on natural people, because they say that as a boss I don't thank them enough. So I must thank you again today for all the great work that you do, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here on a Sunday morning. The subject that I've been asked to speak on is on digital media in corporate communication. Now I really have a dilemma in this, because both digital media and corporate communications are such large issues that I don't think another 15-20 minutes is going to be good enough to do this. And you have people like Rita here, who my friend for now, I said 20 years. I've been aging, you've never aged, and I know you're getting better at your work every year. And I sometimes will have to come to you to find out what is that secret. We worked a lot in the past, more when I was the Secretary General of the Indian Chamber. Now that I've come to your fraternity, I don't see you too often, but I hope we will. So when I have people like this, it's very difficult to talk about something that you already know. And I am therefore apprehensive that what is it that you're going to cover in this short span of time, because unfortunately I have a flight to catch in about an hour's time. The whole issue was, how do I distinguish between all those numbers that you keep on hearing? Facebook is the third largest country, something is happening here, so many tweets, and I take out all those statistics. And I'm sure all the young guys, I can see a lot of the young girls smiling out there because they know all those numbers backwards, especially all the people we're going to honor today. I thought, what can I do to bring out something to you? And I thought it's best to really look at from our own experience in ITC. And also look at some of the things that we've been seeing as a group, which is one of the largest, as you know, in this country. And I thought, let me touch upon some trends and opportunities. Is that up on the screen? Because the lights were a bit... Can you all see that? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to spend a little bit of time on what are the mega trends, if you like, which is happening according to our experience. And I've just picked out 7 of them, because there are many, many more. And I said either we'll have to stay here for the rest of our next weekend and whatever to get to cross it. And also, what are the opportunities coming up in corporate communications? Because a lot is talked about in terms of the risks of digital media and the kind of things which people could use it for purposes which are not very good. But certainly there's a huge amount of opportunities which has come up in this as well. The first, I'm going to start on a bit of a gory issue, the death of the print versions of Newsweek. Did any of us ever think that the print version of Newsweek will never be printed again? Give me a hand show. Do you think really Newsweek will never be with us as a print version? Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Absolutely. Encyclopedia Britannia, who you grew up with, those leather covers was something that used to give you when we were kids. We used to look at it, feel a lot of joy and understand a lot. I mean, today everyone goes to Google to find something. We didn't have that advantage at that point in time. We had to love these books and see what is it. Last year they stopped the final print version. And if I may say a little bit of concern, that there are 2 US cities which will not have daily newspapers anymore. So are we going to see the death of print? My friend Amber, everyone is at the back. And I know you're going to kill me if I go beyond my brief, but certainly yes. Are we seeing some kind of death of this medium? And I would like to think that we have just got a rebirth in this. There is one era which is moving towards a close. And the same publications that we looked at are today, of course, coming to us on a new digital format. And this is the first of the trends that I want to talk to you about, the screen age. Young people are called screenagers now, no longer teenagers. Because wherever I see them, if I look at my daughters, I look at my son, I don't see them face to face. I only see them through the WhatsApp. I see them through, they click a picture of a dress and says that, would I like, will you buy this? Or I've just seen this book and I've heard about this. Face to face, I wonder when I have spoken to them last, in the sense as much as I do on the digital platform. I was at I unfortunately spent a lot of time at the airports, and about 2-3 days back in Delhi, I saw a whole amount of people either looking at the phones, iPads, computer screens, television screens, airport screens, outside media, and you don't even notice who's everywhere. I mean, one of the joys of being in a public place was to go and see what people are doing and also observe. And today, that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, you don't see it, it's on screens. And if you look at the numbers in India itself, I'm told that there's something like 900 million subscribers of mobile phones. And out of that, about 500 million or so actively use the internet in some form. The numbers are very different in terms of fixed line, some 30 million, 100. Let's forget those accuracies in those statistics. But 500 million people spending time on this and getting the kind of information which is happening means that we need to rethink content completely. There is no way, if you remember when radio shifted to television and television to the World Wide Web, 1950s, when the first television ads used to come out, the radio people who used to come and do the television used to read out the advertisement. So they never thought that, this medium, you could actually have some moving characters. So we stuck to the old medium and went on to a new mode of television. When the World Wide Web came, you put up static pictures of initially, when Web 1.0, of your advertisements. And it's only now that you're seeing the kind of multimedia content and so on and so forth. Now, if you're looking at overall, again, I hate to give numbers, but I must do this. 42% of the time spent on apparently phones is on gaming and entertainment internationally. This is the global number. The next 31% is on social media like Facebook and Twitter and so on. So you're roughly taking into account 70-75% there. So the phone is never used for what it is normally used to be for talking, but of course for everything else. So the screen is obviously the new channel on anything. That screen has become a smartphone, a smart TV, a tablet, and now what do you have? A phablet. A phone and a tablet, phablet. Anything between 3 to 5.66 inches or 6.9 inches is supposed to be a phablet. And now what more lets are coming up, we don't know, but certainly I don't see people are going to be, today people call up and say, let's do Skype instead of meeting and so on and so forth. So screen age is here to stay. I'm told attention span in a line, and Amber, probably you'll know this, I'm told in newspapers they tell you this, that 15 words in a sentence was supposed to be the attention span. It's come down to 8 words in a sentence. Now, I can't think for the life of me, and we write quite a lot, how do I express anything in 8 words? Forget the 140 characters of Twitter and stuff like that. That is the attention span. So in that moment, I need to convey a message, I need to build a reputation, I need to sustain it, I need to handle crisis communication, I need to do the whole segment. Because someone with one screen can cause havoc to my life. And they do. Out of 30 days in a month, I get battered for about 15 days, and the next 15 days is something that you can try and think, because so many things go on. 2 days back, money control, which is very widely seen in digital media, said that there's this huge fire in ITC's Sharonpur factory, and huge tons of material has got destroyed. And all our guys from Sharonpur caught up, what has happened? We don't even have a puljari going on here, forget a fire. But it went viral. Stock prices started coming down because they thought that we are going to lose a huge amount of stuff. In a matter of half an hour before Nandini goes and tells them to take that off. And then I see them writing to them that, we're going to deflag you too. But you deflag some other day. It's like that error is regretted which comes somewhere tomorrow. By the time you deflag me, everyone or someone else who's done this mischief, you're already gone. I have things happening in Greece where someone goes up on a research platform and says these products may contain pig's blood. In 6 hours it hit India. We were having products being burnt in Hyderabad and various other places. People are calling up, this was, I almost reminded of the Sipai mutiny of some point of time, because there was this whole thing about pig's blood and why. And in another 10 minutes, you're getting frantic calls from our consumer centers everywhere saying that, what is this? And personally, 3,000 mails I had to send out that day. Standing there saying that I stand guarantee, giving all those kind of work which it gets you to do. Because someone sitting somewhere decided to send something, which suddenly has gone viral, as we said, whether it is required to go viral or not. But it does. Now, as communication managers, as PR managers, suddenly your response time has gone to 0. So you need to think on your feet, you need to move ahead. So this is one of the beauties of the screen age. The next thing which I would call the age of noise, as I told you, I hate to give you numbers, but I will give you a few. By the time I finish this presentation in about 20 minutes to half an hour, I calculated yesterday that we're going to have 3 million tweets will be sent in the world. 30 lakh tweets. There will be some 20 million pieces of content uploaded on Facebook. We'll have some 60 million queries in Google. By the way, Google, of course, is a search engine everyone knows. Do you know what is the next search engine on the net which is almost as large? It's a Chinese company. Give me the name. Baidu. Did anyone think that the 5th, I think right now, if I look at the ratings of the most visited site, is Baidu? And then you have some 1,400 odd hours of video which is going to go to YouTube. You're going to have some 1 million apps downloaded from the App Store. And if that is not enough, you have about 70,000 websites will be created. Whether it's a Sunday or a Monday, all these things will happen. But this is cacophony. And I don't know where in this I'm being discussed. I don't know where within this there is something which can be vital either as a business opportunity or as something which I need to see, to look into the future and see that this is a trend spotting I need to do. Now, where is this opportunity with all the analytical tools that you have at your command to really monitor this on an hour-in-hour basis? So there is this noise. Do I even get to listen to this noise? But there is this age of noise which happens. I mentioned to you, no one looks at anyone else apart from screens. I those gymnastics of eating and sending a mail and, you know, multitasking. I see more of the young kids doing everything together. Collaboration, Twitter, music is going on, download, everything together. They have huge capacity. The problem is these guys are having conversations somewhere. And these are silent conversations, obviously, because across the table no one. So there is this age of silent conversation where, what is this being called out? Tribal culture. You are forming communities. So suddenly what I thought I had, you know, given up many years back, I have come back and now again formed smaller communities where I discuss all kinds of things. Right? And these are again very powerful. Because each of them can actually change a lot the way any business is going to go tomorrow. So you have a lot of conversations going on all across, all the time. Now social media, everyone said, now this is, as far as I'm concerned, a good combination of your old Adda with digital tools, which is amplifying it into a social explosion. Everyone loves to talk. Everyone loves to discuss, gossip, do everything else. Now you've got a digital media coming in and you've just multiplied it. I wanted to talk to 5 people, now I talk to 5,000 people. I don't even know them. They don't know friends anymore. I know personas. You know, this persona is a PR persona, there is this, so we are all into silos which do all that kind of stuff. But the old-fashioned Adda, and these are photographs I took from the net because I thought that photograph signified everything that an Adda is. Relaxed, people talk about it, do everything, and then of course we have this. And that explosion has gone into all kinds of things. I heard of Facebook, Twitter, Takes, Delicious, you know, I can count a couple of my hands. By the time you get out of your office, there are 15 others which have happened. Because now you have to be in Pinterest. We are in the hotel industry. The moment you enter Pinterest, someone said, you're not in Foursquare. Why? Because I had a guest who came in from the US, was an expert on social media incident. Went into one of our competitor hotels. And he said that the moment I entered my bedroom, I got a Foursquare notice saying that you have 2 nights free here. So he tweeted all across the world saying, what a fantastic hotel in Calcutta. I entered the room and I got 2 days free stay here. And then he comes to ITC Sonar the next day because that's where we were doing an event on social media for our managers. And he says, you know, I also got a Foursquare here, but they said I'm giving you a drink at the bar. Yeah, that didn't excite me. Now I can't understand for the life of me, he's never going to go to Jaipur and use those 2 days. And I'm giving him a drink now. But it doesn't value. He has tweeted something which I thought is, he got 2 free nights in Jaipur, which is never going to go. And by the time he gets to go, that will expire. But I'm giving him something here and now. And he said, this is not great. And he tweeted. And in the earlier hotel I got this, I got this. So now someone's telling me that, okay, now I need to be more aggressive in Foursquare. I need to be aggressive in Twitter. I need to be aggressive about blogs. I need to go back to my consumer. When do I run the hotel? Right? Now it's great, of course, to do all this. But if you look at the cacophony, if you look at the kind of stuff, again, a big decision at some point needs to be taken as to where am I going to operate. Am I going to be everywhere and spread my communication efforts thin everywhere just because everyone says you have to be on Facebook or Twitter or anything else? Or do I choose and segment what is my original business reason to be there? And that is where the opportunities come out. Not because I have to be there because everyone is there, but because I have to be there in the first place. All you are doing in this is the same thing that you did earlier. You're communicating. You're giving an idea, you're looking at opportunities, only the modes have changed. And then if I tell me that, okay, I need to be there at every television station, I need to be there at every screen, obviously you're going to lose focus. The next one, the age of the prosumer. Now, everyone is a consumer and a producer at the same time of information. You know, before I can even get an official NDTV alert or someone, a friend of mine at the IPL match has already told me someone is out. Not that it matters to me, but it did. I mean, he's sending you something. Right? So people are creating content. You saw all these people taking pictures and uploading straight away. You've got cameras now, which obviously everyone has seen those ads of immediately on Facebook, because it's not enough just to take a picture and upload it tomorrow. I need to do it here and now. Right? And it's good. It's great because a lot of things, even the Boston, the kind of things that you heard, a lot of that got solved because of these huge amount of photographs which were available to people. But I don't have therefore control on content. Coke as a company, 80% of their content is developed by others, for whom they have no control. So therefore, here I am as a communications professional. We say, please correct this English here, this grammar here, this picture there, this does not have enough light, this is not showing or whatever. And tomorrow someone just clicked a photograph of something and uploaded it, and which has gone into 1 million sites somewhere. Speed, response, the guy who's taking in information and also giving it. Uploading all the time, because now it's become easy to do that. So the age of the prosumer. The other 10-90 principle. 10% of the people influence 90% of the people all the time. Today, anyone taking a vacation first goes to TripAdvisor. Let me check out the location, let me check out the hotel, let me whatever. And the hotel can give me glitzy pictures. It can send a huge limousine to pick you up at the airport. But if the reviews are saying that, you know, I looked for service and it came the next day and I had an ant in this and I had a cockroach in that, or my pillows were this or pillows were that, we say that we are in the business of sleep in hotels. And because people, that is what you said, you sell sleep. Now if he's not being able to sleep in a hotel, obviously someone is going to write about it. And that is the review that I'm going to read. So you have spent enormous amount of time getting the best photographer to take the best photographs or whatever. And whom do I listen to? The guys who I believe have actual experience. Now 10% therefore influencing 90%. This is the age of the 10-90. And does it only mean hotels and what you eat and where restaurant you go? Countries have fallen on this. The entire Arab Spring, Jasmine Revolution, you think everyone came out on the streets the same day? It was this 10% who could convince and have the power of conviction to be able to drive the other 90%. So we are not talking of small developments. These trends that I am talking about is going to change the way we are going to see business and the opportunities that come out. Age of innovation, everyone knows that this is the most. I was shocked to see something 2-3 days ago. Times of India here and all across the world. $100 device stuck to your head like that is enabling you to send messages to your computer by just thinking about a password. It's called passport now. Password is gone, no need to type. I think and it goes. Can you imagine what the problem is? Tomorrow I'm going to send you emails like this. I like this person out here, Rita. Can I upload something? Zap. $100 device with a Bluetooth is leaking your thoughts somewhere else. I can't imagine what we're going to do with something like this. The power of this is crazy. I can sit in a cinema hall and actually copy paste to everyone saying that here's this great thing happening. So everyone with their phone is suddenly going to get a message from someone. Sometime back on a flight when we finished our power on the phone and the iPad, they said, I wish there was something which could give us power on the flight at that point and so on and so forth. Now they say we don't even need wires to charge phones. You put it on a bag. Now can you understand what's going to happen out of that? My neighbor will just do this and take my power supply. I will drive an electric car next to someone and take his power. Because this is a jugaad land. Everything is meant for good things. I mean, if the terrorist is using it, we didn't make it for them. We didn't make it for these guys. But where are we going to? This age of innovation. If I'm going to send thought signals to you now, I don't know what my son is going to do in college with all the stuff. Who is he going to send this thought message? And now at least, my parents used to look at whom we were sending chicks to, then someone looked at who we were sending mails to. Now I have to keep on looking at his mind, and then you'll have a jam up at home. Very nothing. Yeah? So now imagine that innovation is taking us. And why I'm telling you this University of California, Berkeley experiment is already done. That power pack is already done. We are not talking about something which is going to happen 10 years down the line. It's happening. And by the time we get out of this room, something else is also going to happen because someone is constantly innovating. Now, in this whole situation, what does it mean for us? Right? You saw all these, whether it's the age of screens, or the age of noise, or the age of, 1090, or everything else, consumer, innovation, everything else, where does that take us? First is we have lost control. There was a time when you decided which medium, what message, how, when. That control is gone. You've actually given that control to someone else. And it's up to him how to use that control now. So therefore, what I do continuously in creating content has become supreme. I'm creating things which a young kid needs. I'm doing something which his mother needs. I'm doing something which his friends need. And I want to be so exciting that he's going to share it with everyone. The most powerful thing which has happened in the last couple of years is something called the like button. That like button and share button can either get you tons of people who will follow you and do things for you, and one dislike gets in those herd mentality or whatever it is. And the power is just one click. And it's your decision. You didn't even give me a time to come and do my glitzy PowerPoints to you. I didn't even get time to put in my AV that I did with everyone to show you what great things I do, because you've already taken a call. So the control I shifted from me to you. Now in this whole thing, if I've got to look at screenage as a company in corporate communications, do I even have a strategy to handle screens? Do you know that my website cannot be read in the phone? So having a web presence is not important on the phone. I mean, all our friends here from India who keep on doing this for ITC all the time. I keep on saying make it smaller, make it smaller, make it sharper. Apps have to be downloaded. They're saying that you're going to give ads on the mobile phone iPads. There's this fat finger. I have a big problem. It's called the fat finger complex. I can't even type that ad button on that mobile screen. Right? So I need to have apps. Do I even have a strategy? Do I have content to go to all this? Now, there was a time when I had one website and that moved everywhere. That's gone. Age of noise, am I even listening? And if I'm listening, do I want to participate? That's a big call. There are these huge things which happen, and I've had this as a media person, you get this thing happening in television. We had this situation some time ago where a book was released in UK by the secretary to Tony Blair. And he said when Tony Blair stayed in India, in one of our hotels, he said that the room was bugged. MI6 apparently told him that the room was bugged or something like that in the car. Now imagine for us, ITC hotels where heads of state stay all the time, something of this happening in London, a secretary to that guy says that. Now our guys go on, by that time it's all over television all across the world, forget India. And we are trying to craft a response because we know it's not true. And who's going to believe you now? Because that guy secretary saying it, that his word is, Then I find, very accidentally, that Tony Blair comes again 2 months later and stays in the same room. Now you're telling me that British intelligence is so fantastic that, after having bugged him once, we want to send him to bug him again. Right? So that, of course, took the story out of and that guy himself got discredited because he's done a lot of things. But what I'm trying to tell you is this, in this noise, apart from listening, do I even respond? And how do I respond? Am I just going to say that I'm okay, I didn't do all this? Is there something else that I need to say in that nanosecond? Age of silent conversation. Again, am I engaging with them? I don't need to be present, but am I engaging? Am I giving them some tools? If they're going to be talking about you, who's the best person to give that information? You. So I may not be participating, but am I giving my information? Am I part of a tribe? My tribe could be green buildings. My tribe could be women empowerment. My tribe could be something else, but am I there? Age of social media, do I even have a strategy? Because that's a huge thing. Everyone will tell you that I need to be in social media, but do I have a strategy? And where do I want to be, which we have said, age of the consumer is the right information, as I said, available at the right place at the right time. It doesn't help. All of you who use social feeds know, once the timeline is gone, unless you actually go and visit that, it's come and gone. It's flow. Age of 1090, do I monitor and engage with commentators who are writing about things? And age of innovation, how do I even trend spot? How do I know that these could be opportunities? Now, leveraging the opportunity, there are a number of things. Now, all that you see is giving us a huge, this is for the first time that communication, like you said, is becoming two-way. It's becoming multi-way. It's becoming multi-way. Because now I'm getting feedback, I'm getting consumer insights. People are telling me, please do the pack this way, it's not getting into our bags, it's not getting into this. People are giving us a lot of crowdsourcing content for things that we do, even in the social sphere. And even in the employee acquisition part, it's a huge element because all students from IITs, IIMs, where we recruit a lot, are now on a Facebook page. And they're constantly asking us 2 years before they join us, what's going on? The level of interaction is huge because suddenly, now I know a person who's going to join me 2 years down the line because he's already looked at you for so long. So it's changing the way we are acquiring people. Right? If you look at it, I now have an option to send you a differentiated message. I don't say this is my company brochure and whoever comes here take it. Now I'm giving an option of doing various things in various media. Now where today we live in an era of suspicion, if you look at the polls on the net, 78% of the people don't trust business. Whatever we did, I don't know, but they don't trust you. Now in an era of suspicion, when I have a blog, when my website is open, when people can walk up and ask me things, and people see it on the net that this is what I'm saying, certainly you're perceived as being transparent, which makes a big difference. The other thing is, how do I provide experiences which someone is going to recommend? So these are huge opportunities for us. Each one of them can mean the difference between a huge business opportunity lost or a crisis coming up. How do I give control to the user for the information? And how do I participate effectively in causes? Now there are all of us who do something else beyond business. How do I actually participate in something going on in the net, which is not sponsorship, which is your ideas? And how do I get things moving? I met about 2 weeks ago the joy of giving, the guy who created Give India. And I was surprised at the level of activity gets organized across the country without taking a single bite. To get to the right places just by interactive networking. So this is again the age of networks. Now what is the most credible source of information? When you think about it, what is the most credible source of information for you? Is it company ads? Yes or no?
No.
Is it someone like me, forget me, someone who comes much better, at that than me? Would you believe that? Great PowerPoint presentation. You believe your friends. You believe those people who are actual people somewhere. Right? The moment I give my corporate communications card or PR card compared to, again, my friends at the back from here with some, I know that when I used to give a Secretary General card of an Indian chairman, when I give a corporate communications card now, he looks at me that he's going to spin something. Whether I'm going to spin something or not, he's going to spin something. There was a time when they said, what is corporate communications and what is PR? They said one group finds someone for the other to like it. For me, it was always a message and a messenger. Corporate communications creates that message. And the messenger who needs to convey it, who is in the front line, who's handling people, who's doing it all the time, is doing the PR. But the point is, what is the credible source of information? And obviously, it is word of mouth. So how am I, therefore, my entire effort is only to create word of mouth. Because if I'm not able to do that, have hoardings, I can have ads, I can do whatever. What happens on a television ad, tell me? Remote? You change? Go to something else? Unless that ad is very nice. I mean, today I would say if I look at an Amul ad somewhere, I would still read it because it's so nice. But how many times do you actually sit on an ad on a TV? You would serve. Now, do you know how much is paid for that? One of the largest consumer goods giants across the world spends 85% of their revenue, of their ad revenue, on television ads. They did an experiment about 6 months ago, spent 6% instead of 85% on YouTube and got the same results. Because the content could be delivered somewhere. The content could be delivered to people. So when we're evolving a strategy, when we're trying to persuade someone to do a word of mouth, to change perception, this is a bit of a tongue twister because last night I couldn't think of anything else. You need to walk the talk to make the talk take the walk. What do I mean by this? Is that unless I do something which is walking the talk, I actually do what I mean. I walk the talk. I cannot make the talk take the walk, meaning it cannot multiply. Unless I'm honest, my message will not multiply. I'm going to realize this is the change in approach. That's not a one-sided communication going. It's not a question of even listening. I need to be networks. I need to be everywhere. You need to understand what is going on in that sphere. Now this whole concept of being absent but present reminds me of my college days when someone else would give your, So I don't have to be absent. I don't need to be present there. But I have to be present. So look at this. I'm not participating in your conversation. But I still need to be present. I might be looking at what's going on. I might be listening to what's going on. But I need to be there. Because if I'm not there, something is going to happen and take it away. So how do I get people to give me tarif, as I said? That how do they sing your praises? Now that I can't give you my glitzy stuff, I can't go and give, send you a AV that I made with hundreds of dollars. Now they're saying that it's not millions of dollars that matter, it's millions of fans. Right? When you do a campaign. And the tarif for me is actually, when you talk about social media, comes into this. I first tap into, which means I listen. This is not the phone tapping, please don't get me wrong. People, there is a very legal process of doing it. I can listen because everything's out in the open anyway. After I tap into, I need to analyze like hell because there is one guy who might talk about you once in his lifetime and then I spend all my lifetime following you. What is he saying? So you need to very carefully analyze that, is this a fad? Is this happened once? Is this happening all the time? Is there a pattern? And then the decision to respond, and that decision to respond could be not to respond. And then if I need to respond, really engage on a longer term. If I engage and I start enlightening them, and this is a very easy thing to say that I'll sit with them, enlighten them, I'll do this. No one believes you. You need to spend months talking about those issues before that you get a respect to be in that group. Because otherwise, we have these theory books where they said take 10 bloggers, give them all your stuff, so whatever I was doing in the print media earlier, I'm going to do it here instead. And that is where it becomes. So this is our own version of how do you get those tarifs on the social media network. And I'm going to close with some of the initiatives that ITC has taken, just to give you a flavor of some of the things. Some time ago, someone told us, as I told you, that no one is looking at banners and ads. They do, in some cases, but certainly not ours. They were looking at Pico, they were looking at Fiyama, they were looking at Vivair, they were looking at hotels, they were looking at Ashirvad, they were looking at Ashirvad recipes, they were looking at all our brands. But certainly not on things that we have a global exemplar situation. So then they said create apps, not ads. And we took that seriously because all of you know that we are now the only company in the world where we actually suck in more carbon than what we emit. We have about 140,000 hectares of plantations without owning a single tree. These are mostly within Naxalite regions in Andhra Pradesh, where about 62 million percentage of employment has been done. So for the 7th year of carbon positive, what are we creating? create about 2 times more water. For the last 10 years we've been carbon positive before even people started talking about water balance. And you need to go and see some of these places because the backwaters, because of this, is about 5.5 kilometers. Now the farmer actually doesn't have water to grow, and we walked for 2 hours in those areas, and you see that there's nothing which is growing there. And he'll tell you that my grandfather actually saw crops growing here. And when you create these watersheds, only 5.5 kilometers of water gives him 2 crops, his money doubles. He gets 3 crops, his money triples. That is what is about raising the table. We as ITC are not interested in looking at a small part of a small wallet. We want the wallet to increase. We want to raise the purchasing power, and these are ways of doing it. Hotels. A lot of these hotels are run completely on wind energy. The new one in Chennai, 600 keys, one of the biggest now in India, is run completely on wind energy. 6 hotels, 5-star hotels, were actually 5-star deluxe hotels, 2 in Bombay, 2 in Bangalore. We don't take power from the grid. It's completely run on wind energy. And these are all green platinum, green buildings. Now, 40% of all, and mind you, we have about 195 factories, we've got all that now. 40% of the entire energy is from renewable. Internationally, the benchmark is 8 to 10%. And we're moving towards 50%. So these were big things. And you looked at our own, what does a business country? About 5 million leverage. Just 2 weeks ago, we had someone from Kyrgyzstan who came and said, my entire country is 5 million people. Will you tell us how to do this? Because 80% of these incomes actually come from ITC. So we created an app to tell that story. Because before that, we had great publications, we still have. The sustainability report. Because we've been the only company now for 9 years to do this at a GRI at that level, which is a voluntary disclosure. But no one was reading. So we had to create apps. So when you have this app which you can download in your iPad, for example, you go and point at the watershed work that you're doing somewhere. And it takes you to a page which not only tells you what you're doing, it will give you pictures of actual sites. So seeing is believing. We'll also take people there. So they need to know, I can't tell you in a glitzy book that I do all this. I need to show you where I do it. I can even tell you the farmers who can tell you what has been done there. And we work with 4 million farmers, so it's not a small amount. But we know each one of them what they can do. Any initiative, you name it. What have we said on sustainability? What are our reports? Right? And these are all downloadable today on Apple App and Google Play. First month of launch that we had about 1,000 of them, around 1,000 downloads have already happened. So we are seeing how we, this is without informing you. We've not even done any marketing in terms of the fact that ITC has an app. Talking reports. Today annual reports can go to shareholders by email. Now do you still want to see fairly reports which are normal? Or can I start innovating and actually give you something which jumps out of that page and tells you his story? Because no one reads. So the same mail that I'm sending you, can I actually make it into a talking report? Because now he's also seeing what I was doing. Very simple. It's not something that we just thought about it and we're the only ones in the world to do this. But yes, it's very impactful. Because people don't read anymore, they like to see what's going on. That's why you have so many others. Portal, we get about 2.8 million hits now, 12 million page views. Sustainability report, like I told you, about 8,000 we print and send out to people. Guess how many is downloaded on the net? 8,000 I print, which I actually go and offer people. 6.5 lakhs is downloaded on the net, all across the world. So this is pull, I'm not pushing it. So someone knows about you, hears about you, and is pulling that information. And then of course we have microsites telling them about your products, so you have got everything else done, our ads, our everything else. And in social media, we have decided that some brands will interact with some issues like Twitter, Facebook. We don't have to do everything. As you will see hotels, you will see far more symbols than anyone else. All people will have contests in Fiamma and so on and so forth. I find, product brands page you get to see everywhere. And we do get a lot of insight from this. Some of our designs, some of our blends, for example, Ashirvad Atta. Ashirvad Atta went from 0 to 60% of the market, 65% of the market in about 4 years' time. Right? And the reason is that people, the roti that you have in North India is different in South India, and it's different in East India, it's very different everywhere else. How do I make one product which sells therefore in this region, which will make the roti like the way you want it? So that's called mass customization. Anyone who cooks will know this. But I can make one dish to taste this way. Can I do this for 1 million dishes? I may not get the same taste, but the challenge was to do that. And the reason we're able to do that is because we know from where the fields, where this is coming from. Now people tell us that, give us something which is more coarser. Now where do I get these insights from? Because we are the only food company which is 5-star hotel. So our chefs are interacting with people who are eating food all the time. So they tell us what the other should be. And then it's our consumers who tell us what it should be on the other hand. So you get this whole, and the net impact has been from 0% to 65% in 4 years of the market. And now it's more than a 2,000 crore brand. Bingo again when we did that. When we launched Bingo, we launched it in 16 flavors because we were able to crowdsource this information as to who's eating where and what. I talked about ITC hotels, men's lifestyle. But this is something which personally I think is something which I like very much because the interactions happening on Hub and Spoke is giving us a completely new dimension of what our future is going to be. Our interactions are added, and let me tell you that's a very important part. It's not just being on the net. We have a program called Interurban, which goes to campuses, interacts with them, has a lot of issues going on, so it's a combination. So people see this, people look at that interaction, are able to interact with our CEOs, someone from their own campus who let's say in a very short period of time has risen to some levels. So talent acquisition, employee training, a lot of things coming from here. And within a short span of time of engaging in this, people are asking that I want to interact with this CEO. Now can you imagine us getting that opportunity and also the student getting that opportunity? Of being able to interact with someone who has a 15,000 crore business, someone who has a 10,000 crore business, someone who just launched a brand. We have young ladies we have seen in Economic Times 2-3 days back, 28 years old, 26 years old, who are in charge of huge brands that they are launching. How have they done it? These are going on. Internally we have Fountainhead, a portal called Fountainhead which has just got launched a chair. We saw that people are not going to write reports, take a video, post it internally, so that we know what you have. So there's a huge amount of knowledge gathering and knowledge mining. So this is in short a little bit of stuff, and then what worked a lot for us is getting our real life stories from the ground of transformation. And some of this you can see it on the portal. I wouldn't like to do that PR piece right now, but the point is, listen to that. You know how lives can change with a little bit of effort. It's not a huge thing, and this is something that you hear everywhere. But if you listen to these stories of laborers who used to get only 50 rupees a day, when he found work in Command District, he gets 2 months work, 50 into 30 into 2, that is his entire income for the year. Now because of the plantations we are doing, he's getting 80,000 rupees from the same ground. He sends his children to English medium schools. He buys a tractor. He builds a Pakka house. Last survey we've done in all our blocks, we found that now 68% have got flat screen TVs. A guy who didn't have one of those earlier. Go to Chapal Sagas in our retail areas, see or and you look at huge retail shops in our villages, and they are asking not for the normal television box anymore. They want the highest one. TVS motorcycles which we sold earlier, they want the highest model. Nokia phones, they want the highest model. Because you increase purchasing power. You didn't say, oh, you don't have money, I'll make the shampoo bottle into one sachet and send it to you. And make it a huge case story. How did I benefit you? So increase your purchasing power and then do things. So these are a combination of what is happening to people all across, and these life stories are certainly helping us a lot. And certainly, probably you would have seen this in the newspapers. 4 years back, for some reason, we were about 4 or 5 years back, about 20th in the Corporate Image Monitor. A combination of all these activities of telling people what is going on, showing them, as I told you, seeing is believing. Please go and talk to them, we won't be there. Choose your village out of 40,000 villages in Goa. Right? Today I find that we are number one in CSR across the country. Right? Above everyone else. And in a span of 3 years, we have gone from 20 to 8th to 4th. I have 3 more ranks to press. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say. And the only thing I need to leave with you is that this job of communication never gets over. Like George Bernard Shaw said, the greatest problem in communication is the illusion that it has been accomplished. It never gets accomplished. It's always. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
While we're going about fomenting aspiration, how are we managing that?
Big question. I think this is what I was mentioning in your earlier thing about, see, in rural areas there is one issue of, in any case, too much of information and too much of information. My problem is, when you go into the villages, this guy now wants to have the life that you have here. Right? And there is no livelihood for him. Right? Because there's no way he's going to be able to get incomes going. And we found that the only way to do that, therefore, was to look at the entire ecosystem and see what can be done. You can, for example, take Munger in Bihar. Right? We had a factory for a long time. Then we saw that they were not getting enough livelihoods. We got into animal husbandry. Right? Milk yields went up by 8-9%. Now, that guy is earning huge amounts. And to give you another example, Bhopal, very recently when I had been there, this guy had at that point of time 2 cows and a completely mud house, exploited everything else. This time when we had, there were 12 cows and he had trucks coming in from Bhopal to take the milk. I asked him, how much money do you make? He said, after paying off everything now, I get 1,000 rupees a day in Narsinkhera, in Bhopal, that is equal to 80,000 rupees in cities. What he can buy with that 1,000 a day. You'll see videos out there of people doing agarbatti rolling for us for a Mangaldi bag. Earns 2,500. Widow, 5 children, elder daughter died because couldn't feed her. Next one got married, got into debt. Usual story, Hindi cinemas. With that agarbatti money now, she's got a pakka house built. Her children are going to the town to study again. He's a topper in that college. These are stories of transformation I'm talking about. So managing aspirations, I agree with you. We cannot do just business. We will need to see what we call the triple bottom line. How do I enhance livelihoods as well as environmental capital together with business?
That's also very important.
Very important. I mean, we've seen this in all each of our villages. There was a time that they would die to get out somewhere else. Now, they are insurance agents. They are warehousing guys. From Bhopal to Sihor, that road used to take us 3.5 hours. This time we went, we reached there in 45 minutes because there's a 6-lane highway now. Because of development on that side. So unless you do that as a company, it's not going to be enough just to build brands and to sell. It's very important for us to also create those Indian brands. Because it's okay for a small company like Korea to have a Samsung brand, which is the topmost brand in the world, $170 billion. Tell me one Indian brand which is even there. Out of 250 global Indian brands, only 2 last week would have seen the reports. It's only ITC and Ruchi Soya. Are you telling us that with all the scientific temper, with all the entrepreneurial spirit, India cannot create one brand at the top of the list? So there has to be pride in creating Indian brands, and that's what ITC must do. Because this brand otherwise keeps money. I don't know if there's someone who, you can look at your bottles out here, you'll find a watermark of a foreign company. Look at it closely, you'll find it. Every sip that you're going to take pays royalty out. 300 companies pay 36,000 crores as royalty. Not the single pie of that is taxes. So if you're not going to, you can't create bottled water. Now when someone says, okay, build Indian brands, this is what it means. Look at the whole value chain.
Make me thy lyre even if thy forest is shedding their leaves like thy own. The tumult of thy mighty harmonies will take from both a deep autumnal tone. Without me spirit fears with incantation of the heart, drive my dead thoughts over the universe like ashes and sparks among mankind. So, in this occasion of digital documentation, your speech was really inspiring, and I hope every time you have a speech like this, it goes viral of the wave so that we can attend. That was remarkable. Put your hands together for him, and thank you, sir. But the formal Thanksgiving will be done by Mr. Biplab Ganguly. He is a noted personality in television and media and a integral part of PRSI. This is a wonderful, wonderful occasion. Mr. Ganguly, this is all yours.
Thank you.
Well, I joined in late, just about half an hour ago, and of course, the little bit that I caught of Nazeeb's wonderful presentation was nothing new really. I, having known Nazeeb for many years, and that's pretty natural for Nazeeb, who's a wonderful communicator. I would, with Nazeeb's permission, I would relate the backdrop of the time that he joined ITC in corporate communication. It was what, about 10 years ago? 7 years ago, okay. Around that point in time. Yes. The buzz was going around because I was part of the Indian Chamber of Commerce at that point in time, and I was a great friend of Nazeeb Arif, who was the Secretary General then. You would remember very well. We heard that Nazeeb was moving. And not that there were too many jobs up here in Kolkata at that point in time, and where would he move into? There was a lot of speculation. And then someone told me that there was a job going at ITC, the Chief of Corporate Communication. They were looking for someone for the Chief of Corporate Communication, and they were very hard pressed to get someone. And going by the kind of people who have worked in that very coveted position at ITC for years, they normally were from a media background or from other kinds of communication background. But I put two and two together, and if Nazeeb was not really commenting on where he was joining, I thought that if ITC was graduating both from corporate communication to corporate affairs, I think this is where 1 + 1 would equal 2. And I told myself, this guy would possibly be moving to ITC, who would really look for someone, a multi-product group, a multi-brand group like ITC, would ideally require someone with such a very erudite, very wide kind of a background, dealing with industries, dealing with various kinds of parameters in industries as their head of corporate affairs and not really just corporate communication. And then I kind of egged on Nazeeb to tell me just maybe a couple of days before joining that I was really right, that Nazeeb was really moving into corporate communication at ITC. Nazeeb really requires no introduction, and why we didn't formally introduce Nazeeb is A, he didn't require introduction to such erudite audience before, and B, to those who really didn't know much of Nazeeb, we wanted them to hear Nazeeb to believe what he actually is. And Nazeeb, as you know, as formally to introduce him, is the Vice President and Chief of Corporate Communication at ITC. And in addition to that, he is the spokesperson of the ITC group, and on the company's behalf, he interacts closely with all its external stakeholders, including multilateral institutions and chambers of commerce. As I told you, prior to joining ITC, he headed the Indian Chamber of Commerce, transforming this organization from scratch. And as a Secretary General and CEO, prior to that, he was at FICCI, the Apex Industry Organization in New Delhi. During his career, spanning about 27 years in PR, he is engaged with a diverse group of stakeholders, such as government, business, industry, multilateral institutions, and others. He's played active roles in policy, in economic reforms, regional economic cooperation,
WTO, industrial development, foreign investment, infrastructure development, IT, so on and so forth. He has been in several bilateral business organized negotiations with countries and economic groupings such as the United States, UK, EU, China, Japan, Singapore, Mauritius, etc. He has been actively involved in environmental and sustainability issues, and his initiatives have also been awarded as one of the world's best by the International Chambers of Commerce, the apex body of the business in the world. He was decorated, of course. He was awarded by the United States Asia Environmental Partnership with an Environmental Leadership Award. He has been invited abroad on several occasions, both by government and non-government organizations, by the US government as part of an international business program, and by the EU as part of the EU business program. He was also an advisor to the Asian Development Bank in the South Asian Regional Project, SASEC. And that, of course, is a brief summary of what Nazib Arif is to all of us, but to all of us, a wonderful human being, a great friend of all the public relations professionals we have here. Nazib, we were deeply honored by your presence and presentation. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Biplab. As usual, that was absolutely brilliant. Would have loved to have a question answer session, but Madam and also Mr. Arif has some pressing schedules to attend. We are really thankful, fascinated, charmed by this afternoon, and I believe that will be a remarkable occasion. Now, as we carry on the program, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. That was absolutely. Put your hands together. Both for ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And sir. So, the program goes on, and I'd like to call up Pointrila back on stage once again. So I think the formal things have gone on, but the way we have seen this afternoon, what a pressing, wonderful presentation it was. So now we'll be going to the next part of the program. We'll be talking about Mr. Abhijan Nandi, MD and CEO, All India Technologies Limited, who will be detailing the Engage 2013, and basically he is the MD and CEO of All India Technologies Limited, the digital assets of conducting a lot of blue chip companies. And that's because we are quite sure, after this engaging discourse which you have and the introduction by Mr. Biplab Ganguly, we would be watching a remarkable presentation by Mr. Abhijan Nandi, who would like to call up on stage to give his presentation. And I request Pointrila to formally invite him on stage.
So you're requested to please come on the dais. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
In Calcutta, we have been operating for the past 15 years on the digital front, working with a number of organizations, including IDC. The Sustainability App project, which Mr. Arif actually presented out here, was a progress from where we actually started off. Approximately 10 years back, it was only a page on the IDC portal, which we also managed. From there, we had created that web module, which witnesses about 65 lakh downloads compared to the 8,000 which is printed. So this medium and the power of this medium is very well established over the years. What we always lacked in our city of Calcutta is how do we actually use and harness this power of the digital medium. Engage actually brings that to you. 21st and 22nd of June, the second edition of Engage will actually help you understand and unravel the details of the digital medium. We are very happy to introduce you the entire digital basket of Engage. We would actually be launching the website, which has already actually been launched by our friend Akhil out here. He will be taking you through the details of that. The mobile site, because as Mr. Arif also mentioned, about 35 to 40% of all internet browsing in today's world happens from handheld devices. It is no longer from the laptop or the desktop. But the plethora of handheld devices that we have, so we will have on mobile side, there is a webcast which will happen not only on the website but also on Facebook. The social media communities will be harnessed from Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. We will also be having a mobile app on both iOS, which is the Apple, and the Android platforms. We will be popularizing Engage 2013 through emailers. We will be actually popularizing Engage 2013 through emailers in AFAX and Angali. Also, it will be all over the Zido network. Taking you through the details, obviously Akhil will actually be detailing this out. The mobile site, compatible with all small screen devices like Blackberries, Android phones and iPhones. It will have an auto redirect script which will detect automatically where the request is coming from. So people do not need to remember the specific website URL to begin with. The website will have the webcast, and it will also have a video on demand of all the sessions. It will also be simultaneously streamed on the Facebook page. Apart from the regular updates, we will also be having the speaker interactions on Facebook. We'll have live posts from the event itself. All videos which are once streamed will be available through YouTube channels. Primarily during the summit, Twitter will actually become the primary social media marketing tool. We'll be having live tweets and updates regarding the event. We'll also be running a contest before the summit so that the best questions which can actually be asked by all delegates who are registering for the event would be, they'll actually be given a surprise gift hamper for the 5 best questions asked out there. It is the age of the mobile apps, as we say. So once the summit is over, how do we benefit from it? The benefit can actually continue from the apps that we actually download. So all the speaker presentations, all the speaker videos will actually be available on your app for us to ensure that we use this throughout the year till the next Engage event happens. It will also be populated with last year's videos which we already have. This is basically to actually popularize and ensure that we reach out the word of Engage to the maximum number of people. It is not only a Calcutta specific event because we will be having a huge number of speakers from all over India. We also need to start projecting this as actually a national digital summit. We should actually make it a permanent fixture in the digital summit calendar as far as India is concerned. It starts with AdTech in February. So Engage should actually become part of the digital event roster of India. Okay? Thank you.
Are already engaged in an engaging manner in the digital era, culminating to this 2013 event called Engage. We really like to thank Mr. Abhijan Nandi for his wonderful presentation. But there are other programs after this, and I'd like to call up my co-host Moindrila, a dynamic personality, to introduce the next person to be on task.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is the way we got engaged, and with this, please put your hands together. I'd like to welcome Mr. Akhil Bandhu Paul, CEO Mayavyas. Please, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here for long on this Sunday morning. I think almost this afternoon too. I'd like to first show you one presentation for PRSI. The time we get into this presentation, I'd just like to introduce, give an introduction about the website. The website, I think last year's website, everybody has seen already. The same kind of site is going to be here this year as well. But few new things that we are going to introduce this year is, one is, as we said, like there are a lot of applications and other, digital stuff along with this website. So another thing we are going to do is a responsive site. Right, like if it is somebody is not using, it's an Android phone or something, or it might not be Fab or Tab, but still he can, anybody can see it. The way I want to mean actually, if it is a site, if you see in a normal computer or like, desktop or laptop, it's a complete site. But whenever you open it into your mobile, it will be automatically divided into parts, which will be easier to see in your application. This is one thing. And secondly, we are going to introduce a blog in the website so that whatever happens before the actual event happens, you will get all the updates. You can interact from the website only to this blog. You can interact with the speakers, other events that they are joining, that you can get the update. And this is also to engage actually before the event itself. Maybe 1 month before the event, if you want to register and get to know what are the theme and topic is going to be discussed in the event, then you get updated and you can have queries. You can, it's again the feedback that we were talking just before. Like it's not only giving you the information as well as getting information and feedback from your end before the actual event happens, so that we can make it better and better. So now I'd like to show you the presentation for PRSI. Can you please help with the sound?
In this age of lightning speed, there are thousands of ways to promote business. With the passing of days, more and more new modes are being evolved. Public relations is the best way to promote business and get noticed by all stakeholders. Strategies and various media for effective PR are in place. But the challenge is in finding the most cost-effective ways to take care of return on investment. Money or time, whatever is invested cannot be for just peanuts. Clear public relations has been used since early 19th century, but such communications has been in practice for ages around the world. India was one of the forerunners to adopt this concept. Raja Ramchandra of Ajodhya used Rishi Valmiki's Ramayana as the biographical portrait for the masses to propagate his greatness, and thus introduced written PR strategy first time in India. Gautama Buddha preached his philosophy to the masses by reaching them physically by pictures through viharas. Thus the traditional way of PR was defined. Swami Vivekananda, through powerful communication, spread Indian philosophies, Vedanta, and gave Hinduism a status of a major world religion and the parliament of the world's religions in Chicago. Gandhiji's political addition to the traditional communication, PR, brought India the freedom. India is proud to have more such pioneers, Mother Teresa, Indira Gandhi, and the likes, who practiced public relations to communicate their thoughts to the masses. Well, the cave drawing was a prehistoric way of visual PR, communications, and later came print media, films, televisions, and computers. The public announcements of war victory was the initial audio PR, and later came radio. The new age of advertisement changed the mode of PR. Public viewing is no more a choice, but a necessity. And now the internet age is taking public relations vis-à-vis communication to the next level. Social media and digitalization are the new tools that have entered the domain, giving PR a new leeway to reach the masses. PRSI's quest to adopt the new strategies and methods have begun through global conferences and sharing of ideas of eminent PR pathfinders, thus leading to a successful PR roadmap ahead.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching this film. So, as I told you, before we actually launched the Engage, before that, the website will be, we have already started the website, but as far as blog and other activities, as I said, you can do through this website, will be available in the net for the next 1 week only. So, I request everybody to interact and have your feedback and whatever queries you have to get it through with this website. Thank you.
Okay, but I do understand the amount of work he's doing on Engage. Put on a wonderful dress over there, but his work and dedication is very much manifested in his persona. Such a young person, and I would request Manjula to formally thank Oki.
Thank you so much. It was really wonderful to see. Thank you so much once again. And with this, I want any question or queries if you are having, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Everybody is engaged.
Yes, actually, we are successful in the indeed, right? Yeah. Okay.
You can hold the microphone because you are a tall personality, so it's becoming a
Thank
problem.
you so much. At least you understood. Okay. Sir, it's all yours.
Actually, what happens, I take 1 second to say a kind of confession, you might say. Coming amongst this host of great personalities, well, somehow down the line you have butterflies in your stomach. But at the same time, you find these young people coming up over here, giving you direction under the leadership of great leaders. So it is a wonderful occasion. And also to have such a young, dynamic co-host over here, who is taller by at least
4.6 inches.
4.6 inches. But size doesn't matter. And we are really thankful for everybody who has come over here this Sunday morning to make this event a real Public Relations Society of India Kolkata chapter event. And we'll now go for the formal felicitations. And for the formal felicitations, there are two set of people who will be calling out to felicitate, and also the personality who will be felicitating. I'll request Manjula, now we are having a hands-free microphone, you can speak on that. Okay, please call up the people we are going to felicitate as a part of PRSI initiative.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of you, and with that, I'd like.
Excuse me, can the decibel level be a little lower, please?
Oh, sure.
Sound, we can take it. Sound.
Okay, once again I repeat, congratulations to all the toppers. With that, I'd like to request Ms. Sonam Maheshwari, Bharati Vidya Bhavan Bhuvaneshwar. Sorry, I mistook, it's Bhawanipur. Please come on the stage.
Sonam is here? No.
Ms. Binisha Banerjee, Jadavpur University.
Put your hands together on double, please. And also Ms. Neha Kapoor, NIMC.
Please put your hands together for Ms. Neha Kapoor, NIMC.
So first of all, before felicitating them, we'd like to hear a couple of words from
You have missed one name.
Yeah, that's what.
Madhuvanti Roy.
Yeah,
please
Ms. Madhuvanti Roy.
Miss Madhuvanti Roy. Can you please come
Can
up?
you please sorted? Please put your hands together for Ms. Madhuvanti Roy.
So we'd like to hear from them a couple of words they would be saying, and for the very first time, we'd like to call up Ms. Vidisha Banerjee. Can you please come up and have a few words on this wonderful occasion?
But I was so not prepared for this. But anyway, good afternoon to all of you. And being here today, I feel really honored that the PRSI has invited me to be here. And I've just joined the industry and I'm a journalist. So I work for a Bengali television channel. And it's just that I would like to be associated with PRSI after what I saw. And thank you. A special thanks to Mr. Shomajit Mohapatra because he has really helped me. Thank you. So much.
I just corrected because your name has been forwarded by your institute. I was instrumental only sending the email.
So I thank my professors also there.
Well, whatever might be, now we have come to a session where all the formalities probably have disappeared because it's a one family, the PRSI family. And I'd like to call up Mr. Shomajit Mohapatra, Secretary, PRSI. Can you please come up? And also I'd like to call up Mr. Shubhashish Majumdar, Principal, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Bhavanipur. Can you please come up? So, please come up. Because you are the inspiration for these young people. Can you please come up? Take your seat. And also felicitate the toppers. And the felicitation program has begun. We already feel felicitated. Sir, can you please come up? Mr. Mohapatra Shomoda. And we'd like to, felicitate the toppers of this program. We'll call up, I'll request Angela to announce the names.
Okay, Ms. Vidisha Banerjee from Jadavpur University.
So I request sir to give away a certificate. And being a topper, put your hands together. This is a proud moment, ladies and gentlemen. What a moment is this? Taking away from Shubhashish Majumdar, the principal, sir. So that is wonderful. And next on the line is Madhuvanti Roy. Put your hands together. Madhuvanti Roy, I request Mr. Shomajit Mohapatra to give away the certificate of honor, part of PRSI initiative, being a topper. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. And the next one,
Actually, I want to say it's because I even belong from NIMC, so it's Ms. Neha Kapoor from NIMC.
Lot of we are not accommodating the time frame. Lot of gifts. So please allow us to give the gift. Okay? We are not in a hurry.
We are not. We are not. We are not.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. And what a wonderful smile Sneha has. And I hope this smile is a potent emblem of this organization. I request Sir Shubhashish Majumdar sir to please give away the prizes. And also, I request Mr. Mohapatra. Together they should give away because it's a wonderful occasion. And we definitely pray that Sneha becomes somebody in the field. And we'll be very proud of her. Put your hands together. Don't be thinking congratulating them. Thank you so much. A lot of things to be given away.
Please hold it. Mine. Are you happy? Very happy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sneha. Thank you, sir. And sir, don't go away, please. And now we'll be talking about this, the list felicitation of the life members. And I'll request Angela to call out the names of the life members. And I'll request Mr. Subhash Mohanty, sir, can you please come up on stage. Okay. And also I'd like to call up Ina Ghosh, Madam, GM Corporate Communication, real inspiration in us.
The force behind PRSI.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. Put your hands together on the top. So, Ranjita, please call them up.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to call upon Ms. Anindita Roy, Public Information Officer, SAIL. Can we have Ms. Anindita Roy?
In every PRSI function, Didi is like a cornerstone. And I have seen her every time, and it's a privilege. Sir, please come up, sir.
For life member, the felicitation. Please come. Certificate. Come.
And Subhash Mohanty, sir. What an occasion, put your hands together.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call Ashit Paul, Assistant Public Relations Officer, Kolkata Port Trust. Please put your hands together for Mr. Ashit Paul.
And I'll ask once again Mr. Mohanty, Sir, Joint Secretary, and also Ina Ghosh, and Sir, everybody, what an occasion it is. Put your hands together. This is PRSI at its very, very best. Thank you. We are felicitating. Next on the line.
On the line, I'd like to call upon stage Ms. Bernali Mitra, Chief Communication, SAIL.
So it's all about communication, and as a Chief Communicator, ma'am, you are welcome on stage this afternoon. What an occasion it is at Bade Vista. And also I request Mohanty sir, Ina Ghosh, Nati, and everybody to just felicitate. Put hands together. Next online, felicitating the life member, PRSI.
Ms. Rashmi Chatterjee, Director, Hello Heritage. Please put your hands together for Rashmi ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Mohanty, sir. and Rashmi ji is basically an inspiration once again. Put your hands together on the double. Inadi is there, and Mr. Mohanty is there, Sir is there, and obviously Shomala is there. Next online.
Mr. Sandeep Sengupta, CEO, iSolution Software System Private Limited.
Put your hands together on the double. What an occasion. Young guns over here. Infinity infinite. I request Ina Ghosh, Chief Corporate Communication, to give away felicitation certificate. So things are on a roll. And Anjita, the next.
Mr. Satyadarshi Banerjee, Consultant.
Yes, Mr. Banerjee, can you please come up on stage with a very colorful shirt on? And I request Mr. Mohanty once again. Yes, and also I will. Put your hands together. And Inadi and Subhash Majumdar sir, everybody there, just send me the hand to the certificate. Thank you so much. Next.
Next, Mrs. Shomatra Laniri.
Mr. Shomatra Lani, put your hands together. Please put your hands together. I request Mr. Subhash Majumdar and also Ina Ghosh together to give away the felicitating certificate. And obviously, Shomona is here, the towering figure of Shomona is here. Put your hands together. Yeah, Anjana.
Last but not least, we have with us Mr. Utpal Jha.
And here, I think no discrimination. Before dignitary is present over here, the part of PRSI initiative, I request each one of them together to hand over the certificate of appreciation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it was a fantastic occasion. Next, please everybody, can you please be on stage? Now, felicitation of the corporate members.
Before we go for the felicitation of corporate member, I'd like to request Ms. Anantita Roy to please share something in front of us.
Yes, absolutely. A request on the microphone. Yeah. We'd like to hear from her.
Do I come there?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. You can kindly please come over here and share your views on today's function and also about the forthcoming events of PRSI. Ma'am, hello.
Thank you.
Where is the sound?
Thank you. Good afternoon to everybody here. PRSI is an organization which is dear to my heart, and I think I am one of the senior most members present here today. And I have seen it being nurtured by giants like Jolly Mohan Kaul and Madhiki Shyam and Rita Viman, who was here with us some time now. I have received guidance from each one of them, and it's so nice to see PRSI has grown up into an organization of this stature today. And I really feel honored and privileged to be made a life member. They have given me this honor. Thank you very much. Our chairperson of the Kolkata chapter, Noreen Mukherjee, is unfortunately sick, so he isn't here. He has been a colleague and comrade, I should say, in the PR profession for a long time, along with me. And Shomojit, the ever buoyant and energetic secretary we have. Thank you so much. Ina, who gives so much of energy, her time, everything for PRSI. Mr. Mohanty, the present Executive Council. Thank you so much for remembering us. And I really feel honored. And the youngsters, I see here today, please come up in the near future so that PRSI, you are the person who will take PRSI forward. And with this hope, I think we should end today's program with the hope that a lot of youngsters will come up and take up the PR profession and take it along. Thank you.
We're absolutely sure that with the hands of blessings like you have on our young heads, right now to my right is a very young dynamic appear over here. And now the process that goes on, the felicitation of the corporate members. And at the very outset, we'd like to call up the director of next college, Mr. Vikas Singh, to please come up and have a few words before being felicitated in the presence of this august personalities on stage. So this is a PRSI initiative, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Shah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I won't take much of it, and I know that I'm standing in between the lunch session right now. But it's a fantastic initiative of PRSI to bring in all the people from different walks of life and professions as well. And I'm sure the initiative which PRSI has taken will go a long way. I wish all the best to the team and especially to Mr. Mahapatra for organizing such a wonderful event. Thank you very much.
The certificate. Never mind, wrong, right doesn't make a difference as long as we are together here, ladies and gentlemen. And I request Angela to read out the next receiver.
Okay, the next corporate member, All India Technologies Limited.
All India Technologies Limited. Can you please come up? The certificate. Everybody together. Put your hands together. Obviously, this show as it goes on won't have gone like this without Equinox. Their presence is very much there. So I'd like to call up Equinox over here on stage, and I request everybody, Inadi and everybody, Shomi, Pava, Prasad, everybody to give away. To give away this felicitating certificate. Put your hands together.
Institute.
So redefining images, well, you have really redefined images, and once again as the process goes on, I request everybody, so together to give away this, what occasion is this, put your hands together, there's a photo session going on, so the bus is
Let me introduce Sucheta. Sucheta is an internationally famous photographer, and please see Sucheta Das in the Google search and know what she is. Thank you.
Okay, next, I'd like to call Sangya Brand Solution.
So there are a lot of solutions here in PRSI, and these are brand solutions. And once again, not naming anybody in particular, everybody here on stage together. So what an occasion is this?
Last but not the least, Taylor's Tours and Travels.
So you cannot think about tours and travels. That refreshes your mind, and PRSI is here. So I hope a remarkable occasion, everybody together, sir, to give away the certification. So the next one is a felicitation of professional members, and we'll be asking first of all a member to share a view. Ms. Devoshi Roy, General Manager, Corporate Communication, Corporate Development, PLS Hotel. Can you please come up? Yeah, your views in the forthcoming event.
The role will become very, very challenging, and it is important for us to reach the different people at a different mass, the different initiatives and activities that each one of us are doing. I wish them all the best, and I'm sure in the years to come this body will grow and be more successful.
Thank you so much, but please don't go away, because obviously we felicitated by the host of PRSI joints on stage now, everybody together. That would no more. Can you please raise your hand? Everybody. Mr. Monson, thank you so much. And Angela, can you call up
Okay.
members present over here?
Chitralekha Banerjee, Manager, PR Kisan Foreign Private Limited.
Chitralekha, put hands together. Another dynamic member over here. We once again felicitated by.
We are happy that Chitralekha is our member. Right from 2010 National Conference of Kolkata, she has been doing a great work for PRSI, but she has no time to append a signature in the PRSI form. This time she would find at least 60 seconds time to give her signature. Thank you.
Well, 60 seconds to fame, go a catch line, a byline. So what an occasion. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. Angela.
Mr. Chitto Ghosh, Director, Talking Tree Communications Private Limited.
Put your hands together on the double. I think I know the microphone is open on one board for the gentleman.
Like the certificate.
Yes.
Shobita.
And Mr. Mohan,
There is no word in English dictionary to describe these gentlemen.
Speak for yourself. Yes. Two words, please, sir.
It's a really honor to get this certificate. After long associations with the PRSI, I think since 2006, I'm just getting into the PRSI world of activities. I wish PRSI gets successful in the time to come. Thank you very much.
We prefer not to tell much about him. Only one sentence: this thing would not have been possible without his direction. Thank you, Mr. Chitto.
We acknowledge our gratitude. Thank you so much. Angela.
Mr. Devashish Mishra, Executive PR and Communication, Fortis Hospital.
Can you please come up? And next is Devoshi Roy. Already been done. And
Ms. Nandini Basu, Senior Manager, Corporate.
okay, put your hands together on the felicitation. Mr. Mohan sir and everybody there. The felicitation goes on. What occasion is this?
Last but not the least, we have with us Ms. Tanya Das, PR Executive. Welcome, ma'am. Please put your hands together for.
Carpe diem was pronounced rightly. Carpe diem. Put your hands together. What occasion? Because after this we'll have. Thank you so much. So next one, as we go, the program goes on, the felicitation of the professional members have been done. So now will be the associate members. We'd call up Mr. Rajiv Gupta, first of all, to come up and share his reactions, being an associate member, about the occasion happening today. Mr. Gupta.
Let me introduce Rajiv. Rajiv is the Secretary of Pankaj Mollik Art Foundation. Am I right? Music and Art Foundation. Actually, I couldn't have done যাই হোক, তো আমাদের PRSI তে আমাদের কাজ হচ্ছে অনেক ভালো ভালো রিসোর্সকে আমাদের সঙ্গে আসা। আমরা এই মিশনটা এবার লাস্ট 1 মান্থ ধরে এই মিশনটা চালিয়েছিলাম। আমরা টোটাল 35 অ্যাসোসিয়েট মেম্বার্স, 20 প্রফেশনাল মেম্বার্স এবং 8 কর্পোরেট মেম্বার্স আমাদের সঙ্গে এবার যোগ দিয়েছে এবং এরা বলছে যে রাজীবকে প্রথম রিয়াকশন দিতে। রাজীব প্লিজ।
Hello everybody. It gives me great pleasure to be here amongst you this afternoon. It's been a wonderful experience seeing the presentations, hearing the opinions and thoughts of people who have been associated with PRSI for a very long time and been in the PR industry for such a long time. It's been educating to say the least. Speaking about the organization that I represent, Pankaj Mollik Music and Art Foundation, it is dedicated to Pankaj Mollik, my grandfather, the renowned musician, singer, composer. The main work that we do in the foundation is to try and preserve, promote and propagate his musical legacy. The journey when we started was pretty tough, but now over time, with the support of a lot of people, we've been able to overcome all the hurdles and get on with our main ambition, and things have been going well since 2010. We have a lot of programs lined up, and what we believe in at the foundation is that communication through music would be an alternative to verbal communication, which might at times seem dry. This is something which we are trying to project at the foundation through the programs that we are doing. And it is not a single-sided, unidimensional program that we do. In each and every program of ours, we try to communicate with the audience through multimedia presentations, be they audiovisual presentations, or musicals, or drama, dance drama, musicals, whatever. And each particular item has a message going out to the audience. We have tried to keep up with the digital age as well. We've launched our website, www.pankajmollik.org. We have our presence on Facebook through our Facebook page. We are on YouTube. We have a channel dedicated to the works of Pankaj Mollik and the foundation. So, keeping all these things into perspective, I think whatever's been said and done in this morning's and afternoon's program has been quite educating for us. Thank you.
Please don't go away. It's wonderfully said. My namesake, Mr. Gupta. So it requests everybody here present together to give away the felicitation certificate. Please put your hands together. Yeah. Ajay.
Ms. Aisha Siddiqa, consultant.
Please, one by one. Aisha, can you please come up? Yeah. And then
Amrita Ganguly, consultant.
Amrita Ganguly, consultant, can you please come over here, one by one. We'll call up Aisha first, on stage here, the felicitation going on. And obviously we have a host of great personalities here. Felicitating. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. That is good. Next, will you call it?
Amrita Ganguly,
Yeah.
consultant.
Consultant. Put your hands together, bright young faces.
Vishwajit Das, journalist.
Can you please come up, Vishwajit Das?
Vibhajyoti Ghosh, executive.
CII. Well, journalist from Bardhaman, Vishwajit Das, put your hands together. What occasion is this?
Vibhajyoti Ghosh, can we have it?
Executive CII, and obviously Joydeep Bose. Can you please come up, Joydeep, once again from CII, a very dynamic person like all others. Opportunity to interact personally, develop relationship, that is all about PRSI. Put your hands together, don't stop clapping please. Yeah.
Mr. Ashok Kumar Roy, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited.
And this is Mr. Joydeep Bose once again here. Being felicitated, photo session going on. Please look forward. Yeah, that's good. Next.
Chinu Gupta, Pankaj Malik Music and Art Foundation.
Ms. Chinu Gupta, can you please come up?
Mr. Partha Kar, photographer.
So don't stop clapping please. Go on. The process is on. And remember, it's almost now like a wonderful TV show going on. Award service.
Polomi Biswas, Lady Brabant.
Polo, can you please come up? Ready to go on. Next.
Rajiv Gupta, Director Punch.
Already we have felicitated him.
Okay, next, I'd like to call somebody who was there, who is actually there with us from all through. Mr. Rajiv Sanyal, who is master. Please put our hands together. Next, Shomana Banerjee, Lady Brahman College.
Shomana, can you please come up? Never mind,
She is from Sri Shiksha, not from Lady Brahman. Just been mistake anyways. Neha Das.
Put your hands together.
Neha Das from Lady Brahman.
Once again, young guns coming in, and what a fresh blood introduced in this wonderful organization. Don't stop clapping.
Where is Chandraman? Chandraman is there, Inabos is there. Thanks to Chandraman and Inabos for inducting the new blood from the Diploma College.
Put your hands together.
Sri Lanka Nandi, Lady Brahman College.
And let me announce another name, one of the dynamic faces today, this afternoon, Poindrila. Saha, can you please come up? Put your hands together. That is wonderful. That is wonderful, and she had been.
There is a request from Poindrila that call Madhuba ma'am. Actually, I know how the students of NSHM are passionate about Madhuba, corporate member of our NSHM. So I will request Madhuba to please come and join us, at least photo shoot. Subhash corrects it, photo shoot. The frame is to give a good hands up round of applause, please, for ma'am. We'll call Poindrila back, one of the cornerstones today in this program. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay, next I'd like to call Tanay Sengupta from Bailan College.
Tana, another very smiling face. Put your hands together for Tana. A wonderful haircut, I believe. And looking good, dynamic, buoyant. That is what PRSI needs. Yeah, next.
Last but not the least, Tista Dev, Lady Brabant College.
Tista Lady Brabant College has come over here at PRSI.
I guess she's the most biggest out here.
That, what you say, that's very good. I think we can agree. Put your hands together. I hope we haven't missed out anyone. We haven't. So,
any name missed? We have missed any name? নতুন কেউ কোনো নাম মিস করছে নেই দুর্দান্ত এসেছে বিপ্লব গাঙ্গুলি এখানে আছে বিপ্লব গাঙ্গুলিকে সার্টিফিকেট তৈরি করে দেবো তাড়াতাড়ি করে একবার খুঁজে নিচ্ছে কি করতে আচ্ছা বিপ্লব গাঙ্গুলি জানতে চায় না এত দেরি করে পিআরএসআই তে জয়েন করেছে আসলে পিআরএসআই পার্ট অ্যান্ড পার্সেল হচ্ছে বিপ্লব শুধু একটা এসএমএস এর অপেক্ষায় থাকে আছে থাকবে না এটা হতে পারে না উই ক্যানট লিভ ইউ Please come, Biplop. Tomra ডাকো, formally ডাকো।
Formally, we'd like to call up, well, a kind of ideologue, we might say that being a performer, Biplop Ganguly, I really admire you. Put your hands together for Biplop. Please come up on stage.
So you're formally invited on the dais, please.
And obviously, we'd like to hear from you. Wonderful voice, wonderful intonation. So it's an inspiration. After the photo shoot, 2 words for you, sir.
Well, it's always been wonderful to be amongst the PRSI members, but I never thought that I came today just to be with you guys, but I come and I find my name as a professional member representing my organization, Pegasus Advisory, of course. And but it's a pleasant surprise that I come and I've given a certificate, kind of inducting me formally as a professional member of the PRSI. And of course, I think PRSI for many years has been doing a yeoman's work in the field of for uniting, bringing together, connecting, bonding all the communications professionals in the country, and especially the Kolkata chapter. I've had the very good fortune of emceeing the wonderful the National PRSI Convention here about a couple of years ago, which turned out to be a very good success. And I think we are capable of doing more such conferences in the future, and more the merrier. Varnanidhi is here. Varnanidhi was my contemporary college, completed a couple of years senior. And of course, it's good to see her back after many years here in Kolkata. And she was asking me that we have so many college students as members of PRSI, and I told her more the merrier, because if college students do understand the nitty-gritties of our profession so early in life, I think it's very important that they do so, because we all came to know about PRSI after quite a few years in the profession. And I think catch them young and train them fast. If that's what PRSI thinks about, I think that's very important. Thanks very much, Shubhasra, Shomo, Sir, Inadi, both of you doing a wonderful job here.
May I request, Biplop was referring, Barnali Mitra, Chief Communicate কথা বলবে না? আচ্ছা, ওখান থেকেই বলছে আমি বলবো না। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে টেলিফোনে কথা বলবো। এখান থেকে বলতে হবে। SMS এ কথা বলবো। আসলে এটা না আমাদের ডিজিটাল। ইনামুল পাস থেকে বলছে ডিজিটাল। অ্যাকচুয়ালি আজকে মেম্বার ছাড়া এখানে নেই, আর যারা টপার। আমরা অনেকদিন ধরে ভাবছিলাম এমন একটা ফাংশন করবো, আমাকে অনেকে বলে যে স্টেজে বসে থাকে, উল্টো দিকে বসে থাকে, তারপর খানিকক্ষণ বাদে চলে যায়। কারোর সঙ্গে না আমাদের কথাবার্তা হয় না। শুধু SMS এ বর্ণালী মিত্র যেন বলছে SMS এ কথা বলতে আর ফোনে কথা বলতে, এটা অনেকে আবার পছন্দ করে না। সামনাসামনি কথা বলতে চায়। আজকে ন্যাশনাল পিয়ার ডেতে আমরা ডিজিটাল থিমটাকে ওইখানে রেখেছিলাম, আর আসলে অ্যানালগে আমরা এরপরে কথা বলবো। আমি চাইলাম বর্ণালী মিত্রকে অ্যানালগে আসতে, বাট শি ওয়ান্টস টু বি ডিজিটাল। খেতে খুব মজার কথা। যাই হোক, আমরা খেতে অনেক কথা বলবো, সবই তখন SMS এ বলবো। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। উনি আসবেন না, আমি রাজীব আর ঐন্দ্রাকে আবার ব্যাক করে দিচ্ছি মাইক্রোফোন রেস্ট অফ দ্য প্রসিডিংস এর জন্য। বলেছি আমরা নাম দেবো।
2 words. We have a formal vote of thanks. And okay, never mind. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. And I request Inam to stay.
Inam, you are requested to please.
And before that, only 2 words summing it up. On my behalf, Rajiv and Wendrila over here, I thank PRSI, the secretary, joint secretaries, everybody for giving me and us an opportunity to host this wonderful event. And finally, the 2 words, as Rabindranath would have said, ধ্বংস দেখে ভয় কেন তোর, প্রলয় নূতন সৃজন বেদন, আসছে জীবন হারা অসুখ করে ভুগতেছে। So we are here on part of PRSI to destroy a lot of myths and create a new niche for ourselves. This is your friend Rajiv and host, requesting Madam Ina Bose, General Manager, Corporate Communication, so dear to us to offer a vote of thanks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Fellow professionals and PRP on the national PRP. Probably, I hope you haven't forgotten. It's the end of the program now. We haven't forgotten that today is the national PRP. We were so engrossed with so many events. I'm sure we have forgotten what we started with. It was Rita Ji, Mr. Nadiwari, the wonderful, informative presentations that they had given, and then I was really touched and engaged with Akhil's presentation. Where has he disappeared? He has disappeared. Akhil, don't run away. That's me and Shomujit, had given him just 3 days to make a film for us. We didn't know what he was trying to do. So that was really very nice, very well done, Akhil. Real thanks to you. And I'm sure we'll have many more opportunities to see that over and over again. Today was also a relaunch of Think Book in a different way. And the credit again goes to Chittu. On the previous occasion, I had tried to thank him, but he had run away. So today he's here. The entire designing, the look and feel of the book at a very short notice. Again, 3 days, I suppose. So we, myself and Shomujit, we pioneer in giving people 3 days time to work. Akhil 3 days, Chittu 3 days. So we are always trying to finish things in 3 days. Because we are
my father gave me 3 days time to learn anything.
Next again we'll be meeting on June 21st and 22nd. I hope those are the dates, Shomo? 21st and 22nd for Engage at ITC. We look forward to that. As for the profession, I don't want to come between the lunch and you. So just one sentence. Let us all try and be good PR citizens.